What is up, YouTube? Day is finally here. I got parts. I've had parts sitting in the back of my truck for weeks. The leveling kit is here, springs are here, still waiting on wheels and tires, but today we are putting a 2.5-inch ready lift leveling kit on the truck, and I am super excited. It goes into the shop for the delete and the tune in the next couple days, so I was trying to knock this out by myself. Fortunately, I have a couple helping hands at work, which I'm very, very grateful for. My buddy Joe Bam, the Bam Burglar. You check him out on Instagram. He's actually got a lot of cool stuff that he does. He's building his own BMW right now, and he goes around to different shoots. So check out his photo shoot. And my boy Joel, again, one of the buddies that works with us at the dealership. And my old man wanted to give a shout out to my dad. John's gonna help us out. So I'm really, really thankful for those guys to help me out, but I'm really looking forward to it. Let's get it started. All right, so quick update. Truck is in the air. I'm gonna try to get through this as best I can. So like I said, 2.5-inch ready lift. Here's the Ford I was telling you guys about in terms of spacers. Now the only difference is that I got the part of the spring. That's a 10.5-inch spring. So we've got all 4 Fox shocks right there. Your selection of torque wrenches, they range. You've got 21 millimeter, 18 millimeter, down to 13, 15, 5, 15, 13, 16. So they range a lot. All your torque wrenches, socket sets. So pretty much an assortment. It doesn't tell you exactly, but like I said, we're just getting to it. So we've got all our brake line replacements, the track bar drop brackets in the front. So we're getting to it. So we are early on in the process here. There's my boy Joel. Old Dad and I went over to get a second jack stand. So we've got the axle so that way when we let it down. Old Joe Bam's putting in work over here on the track bar coming down. Joe, really early on in the process here. How do you think it's going so far?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good, man. A few words. Doing a hell of a job for me.
I'm a hard worker for real.
Hard worker for real. That's commitment. So again, what Joe's doing right now, taking down the track bar, we're going to relocate those to the brackets. We'll use the stock hardware that comes with it, and then just put an extension on there once that drops. And then we're going to get some of this stuff out of there. We've already disconnected the brake lines there for you. The coil spring to get replaced. We've got the Fox shocks coming. Also have to replace the bump stop. We'll get that out there and get an extension on that too. What you working with there, Joe?
Big old tearing nut.
That's a big old 30 millimeter. Poor Joel trying to get the gun out.
Yep, trying.
That is your track bar drop bracket. That whole bracket's going to come out. The other one I know we have to crawl up underneath here, and there is a 3 bolts right there. It's really, really dark, so it's impossible to see, but that all comes out in one, and that will drop. We'll get that new bracket in there. Stock track bars out, or sorry, mount, and the new one is going in. Now again, you can use just the stock hardware because you've got 3 bolts. They do not move for you, and then you got your big 30 millimeter that comes in there too. So Joe Bam putting in some serious work on a ratchet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Nothing but work.
That's the only way you know how to do it. So that'll go right back in here. We'll get that mounted up.
Just give me no, where's the other one? There's 2 that going right here. I'm just gonna thread them in.
See it?
Yep.
There it is, right there. Hold on, let me get my arm.
Take 2.
Tell you what, here, Joe, hold the bracket from that side.
Yeah.
Here, let it down for just a second. Alright, go back up. Is that the same way?
Yeah, I feel it. I'll hold on to it if you can start it in. It should be right in place. Good.
You just let it down. Now we can start those back.
We got the freaking drinks up in the truck, so we're dehydrated. Look, poor John's going out the door just dehydrated. Poor guy.
He's out.
Joe Bam's kicking ass and taking names over here. Working on getting this shock out. So the new drop bracket's in. That's player. Next, the axle will come down. We'll get the springs out. How you guys holding up?
Getting sore.
Oh, bud.
Give me a lot of wind. A lot of wind noise.
Giant. A lot of wind. I was gonna say.
From this.
I hope you guys heard all that because we had a giant fan going behind us. I got air hissing on this side. Gosh, we're efficient. Again, shocks come out, Fox shocks going in there. Got to do the rears. That should be pretty easy. And I'm trying to help and video at the same time, and it's just real tough, but we're moving. All right, so it took some time. I know, guys, this is a little bit choppy. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but the new shock is in. Now we've also got to lower that down. We have not bolted it yet, so we can let the axle down. That way we can get the coil spring in. Once we get the coil springs in, really we just got to do that brake line drop bracket right here, and then get the sway bar back up there. Also, Joel's working on the rears, so I got shocks for all four. He's got those pinned out of here, and he's getting the new one in over there. So, I'll tell you what, got a hell of a crew. These guys are awesome. Joe Bam's killing it over here, underneath the whole front end. How you feeling there, Joe?
Pretty good.
Dude, killing it. Absolutely killing it. All right, so springs are out. So normally, this is right where the ready lift can go. So that's where we got the Carly 2.5-inch spring. He's gonna set that in there, and we're gonna get that set back on. You got your bump stop. Use this. What's up? Lower the axle down.
Hey,
All the way down.
Raise truck up.
Go ahead.
Here, and that way you can get the spring on that.
Does this go back in?
Yeah. Yeah. That's so that right there again. That's usually where the ready lift thing goes onto.
Go ahead. Yep.
Okay, so those guys are taking the truck up. Right here again is where we would normally use the ready lift extensions, but we don't need those because we got those springs. Joel just let it down so Joe can get enough clearance on there.
Drop it down a little bit. I want to see how this slides
Drop
on.
it a little bit.
Yep.
Is that good? I'm gonna have to go back up. It's sitting on the log right now.
Hold on.
It'll be alright.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Time for wheels.
All right, gang. Time to get the wheels back on.
Drop those.
We're gonna torque these down. Let the axle sit. But there's your 2.5-inch spring, your brake line relocation. You got the new track bar set up. Brackets here. Bump stop extensions. Don't forget about that
Hey,
one.
watch that.
New Fox shock all the way around. Joey's running the axle down.
Get that other one, Mark.
Super excited here in a minute. Again, rear shocks are on the back too. As the truck's sitting a little wonky, but way home, getting a little dark, but I'm gonna try to get a drive home because I'm sure those Carly springs are gonna be really stiff to start off. But super excited. Again, I can't thank these guys enough. I literally would not have been able to do it without them because even though I got my hands dirty, these guys put in a lot of work. Yeah, buddy. Holy crap.
What you think, dude? It's a little different, ain't it?
I think it looks like stock, dude.
Shut up, dude. You want to take it back off?
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull them all off. All right, throw it back up. All right, guys, there it is, finished product. So see if I can back it out here. And actually, we did okay. I got a little bit of a steering wheel alignment. It's not as bad as I expected it. What do you think, Joel?
All right.
Sorry, because it's a Ford, isn't it? Yeah, it's exactly what I was saying.
Dog, but that's all right.
No.
I'll take it.
What do you think there, Joe Bam?
Fire.
Bomb.com. That's crazy. All right, guys, so first drive here. Well, I guess second driving home last night, but I can actually give you some feedback on the ride after the install, and I really can't tell a difference. That's part of the reason that I went with the Carly Springs. I didn't want to just sit it on blocks. I didn't want to extend the shocks and the coil spring themselves. I wanted to make sure that the ride was right, especially when the wheels and tires get here, so I can clear the 22x12 35-inch mud terrain tire that hopefully rides again pretty well overall. So I want to apologize. I feel kind of bad that the video wasn't quite as instructional as I had hoped. I was obviously trying to get tools out and then also make sure that I was helping the guys and get you video updates at the same time. So it was a little tougher than I expected to do that, but fortunately Ready Lift does give you a walkthrough instruction with everything. You can either do them with tire jacks or with floor jacks or on a lift like we did last night. So I would recommend getting a couple good friends if you guys are looking to install either a level or a lift. It took us about between 2 and 2.5 hours. That's kind of because we started working both sides a little bit. If you have all the tools you need, you can probably get it done in between an hour and a half. We were kind of scrambling to make sure we had all the right tools and trying to figure out what fit where. So again, you could knock some of that time down. Like I said, it took us about 2.5 hours. So, but again, just to recap, again, the ride's great. Really looking forward to this coming week because the truck gets deleted. We're going to do an SCT tuner. It'll be a 5-position switch, so it'll be just shift on the fly. S&B open style cold air intake. I'm really looking forward to that because I think it's going to look killer underneath the truck and it's going to make the turbo sound great. I actually drove a stock truck here at the dealership that just had an S&B style in-box intake, and it actually even made the stock turbo sound great. So I'm really looking forward to having it deleted because on top of that, I'm going to have a 5-inch exhaust straight pipe, and we're also going to do a 7-inch tip. So I think it's going to sound great. And just while I'm going over a bump here, here's a really good test of, let's see. Yeah, you can't tell any difference. So I'm really, really happy with the upgrade. Stay tuned for me, guys, because in the next couple weeks, we're gonna have kind of a rare bird on the channel. I'm gonna call it the GMW. So just stay tuned for that because I think you guys are really gonna like it, and its features. So thank you guys again for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support, and we'll catch you on the next one.